welcome back to my channel, Best Practice Gaming. My name is Rob, and today I'm doing another video here on SnowRunner. Let's take a look. Oh, before I take a look at the quest here, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit the bell notification icon for more videos. Now let's take a look at our quest. Supply and demand. Now that we're set here for the long haul, we're considering repurposing some old factories here to suit our current needs, which means we can use some help getting them fixed and fully stocked. Looks like we need concrete slabs and vehicle spare parts. And this is going to Zimny Gorsk. So I've got concrete slabs right here, and I have vehicle spare parts right here. So let's start with the vehicle spare parts. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. Normally I'd be working. I've resigned myself to working 120 hours a week, so 16 hours a day. But with my car in the shop, I can't really do that. So it gives me a chance here to put out a video on the channel. And then I did make some time for the channel during the weekends, so that will be good. That will definitely help the channel here. Make a few videos. I've got breakout videos where I'm just doing Crisis, so those don't require any prep. And then I have these SnowRunner videos here and Expedition videos that do require a bit of prep, which reminds me I gotta go purchase their latest game, Roadcraft, which I'll be doing after this video. Right. So I finally got through all that HP material and I got HP certified, so that was really great. I got to put that in my work profile. I haven't done any like real HP training yet where you take apart the computers or anything like that, but eventually I'll get around to it. I just have to brush up on ESD, which is electrostatic discharge safety, and a few other things, and then I can go and just take care of all of that when it comes time for me to train for that. But currently I am working on the Net Plus certification, and I'm taking that on Percipio, which is offered by my organization, but you can go to Udemy, and I think there's a few other online type schools where you can purchase that content and just learn it. You can also go through Cisco and learn it that way, or if you really want to be frugal with it, you can go down to your local library and pick up a Net Plus book and just read that and learn it that way. There's a couple of different ways to get certifications. Not all of them cost an expensive amount of money. The only difference between spending money on certifications and not spending money on certifications is just going to be the quality of learning and if somebody's there to explain it to you or not. So that's going to be the only difference. Let's take a look at the inside of the truck here. Nice. I finally saw a couple of Ford trucks come out for expeditions. I'm definitely gonna pick those up, simply because I like purchasing the trucks to see what they can and can't do. Not really a huge fan of highway trucks. I'm not saying they don't have their place. Like on this road, highway trucks would be fine, but a lot of the maps are just off-road or over the road or overland. Overland is just driving off-road to a location, which I've done many times in real life. So a lot of the roads are like that. So I don't really have a huge use for the highway trucks. Although some of them are pretty cool. I do like some of them. They're also challenging to use, so that there is that. But in the next map I'm going to work on here, after I'm done with this map, I don't think I'll have any use for highway trucks. But because there's just so much snow and mud everywhere. Let's take a look at the next map. Yeah, Kola Peninsula. That map just alone that map took me about 6 months on my own to finish, just working on it on and off. So that was kind of a tough map. I couldn't figure out how to get the garage up and running in the Kola Peninsula second map. It took me a long time to figure that out because I had trouble finding the locations. That's going to be the next map here after this one. And I'm just going to continue to go through the seasons. I know they're all the way up to 16 with high voltage. I'm going to pick that one up as well after this. And picked a good time because everything's on sale, so that's really nice. What was that? Oh, I did not mean to do that. All right. There we go. That's what I meant to do, turn the handbrake off. Is it stuck? Oh, whoa. What's going on with the tires there? Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's stuck in the ground. Oh, that's interesting. There we go. That's kind of weird. It just spawned with the tires in the ground. I don't really need any of that on here because this is just mainly a highway road. So I want to take a moment to talk about the Net Plus in case anybody wants to pursue that. So I definitely recommend learning the material on your own because the certifications themselves are expensive. When I first started out, they weren't that expensive, and they were lifelong certifications. I don't know if that's the case with Net Plus. I know with A+ certification, that's no longer the case. Some gas there. But with the Net Plus, there's a couple of ways to learn it. So I'm going to talk about the books here first. The books just go into the basics of the OSI model, but what the books will teach you is a lot more in-depth knowledge about which each layer does. Say layer 1, the physical. Not only will it talk about bit rate control, but it will talk about how it works and how it affects the world around it. And of course, the type of media. When I say media, I'm talking about the type of the type of lines you use to transport your network data on. So it could be Ethernet, it could be satellite, it could be radio waves. And that's just an example of how the book will handle it. If you decide to do the videos, it'll give you an overall explanation, which I think is much tighter. You don't really need to go that deep into it. It'll talk about bit rate control. It'll talk about Ethernet. It'll talk about all that stuff. That's just at layer 1. Layer 2, the data link layer. The videos will talk about media access control, so it'll determine what type of network it is. It'll talk about MAC address. It'll talk about how it takes data and converts it to the MAC address if you're just on a switch network. Of course, layer 3 is IP configuration. So, given the choice between doing the books, instruction, and videos were the best option for me because it gives me all the information up front and allows me to learn it as I go along. Plus, I took notes on it, is what I'm trying to say, and it'll allow me to reread the notes and go over it a couple more times and take the practice tests. Of course, the practice tests are anywhere near what the real tests are like. It's usually about a composite of 100 questions on knowing the material, setting up the material, and troubleshooting the material. So what I'm trying to get at is the tests aren't equivalent to real world experience. So if you have real world experience working on networks, which I do, the test is going to be more straightforward and more about the content or the material in the book or in the videos. So that's one thing you should be aware of if anyone decides to pursue it. I don't know about the instruction piece. So for example, learning it in a college or going through the courses from Cisco itself, because I chose Percipio and I chose Udemy, so that's how I chose to learn the material. So I can't speak too much about learning from an instructor. But other than that, it's definitely a lot of material. The part I really struggle with is knowing the ports on a layer 4 there, which is transport. That's where ports come into play, is layer 4. Knowing which ports do what and which ports belong to which application. So that's just the part I struggle with. Other than that, I hope I'm going in the right direction here. Other than that, what? Hold on. I might not be going in the right direction. Have I gone too far? No, I'm not dropping there. Okay, I am going in the right direction. So other than that, I definitely recommend anybody to take these certifications if people are interested in them. I know people who started out with the Security Plus certification. So when I was starting out in this field, it was A+, Net Plus, and Security Plus, and they all built out on each other. But that's not really the case in this day and age. You can start out with any certification as long as you're willing to study for it and you pass the tests. I don't remember how much the tests cost though, so that's just something I'll have to look at later. Alright, let's see where I'm going here. Oh, I gotta go into town. I can just come in here, turn around and go this way, or I think this area is out, or I can come all the way down here and try to come up. I don't think I can make it through there. I definitely want to stay on this side of the map here. So I'm going to work out a way to go through here. Since I'm facing in this direction, I got to come in here and turn around. And of course, make it daylight. And then of course, after a couple of months here, I'm gonna study for my CDL again. I got the it's not the CDL. What's it called when you get the pre-license? I'm trying to remember the name for it. Let's see here. Oh, learner's permit or a learner's license. Okay, so I got that for my CDL, along with the some endorsements like the air brake endorsement and the tanker endorsement. But eventually, let's see here, was there a gas station in here? I could be wrong. I know what I can do. Eventually I will work to get my CDL along with the endorsements that I want, because I like to live in sparse areas personally, and I don't really like commuting to and from work, but I do it anyways. But eventually I like to live in an area where I can have like some sort of like trade skill to put to use. Oh, why am I doing this? Alright. Refuel. This is probably going to be a tough drive for this truck. Turn on the beacons here. Alright, let's go drop this off where it needs to be here. We're gonna swing around and we're gonna drive this difficult country road going this way. Okay, cool. I thought I got stuck on that car there. I do like this step series of trucks. There's another step truck they can get later on that's really good. I'll probably pick up the trucks as I go along for each map. I was planning on going ahead and getting the trucks that I wanted, but I decided against it. One, because I hardly have any time to put towards the channel. Two, everything is focused on improving my career in technology right now. And three, for whatever reason, I'm stuck on ranches. I'll go ahead and just drop the gear here so I can get through it. Right. Hopefully. Well, it's going really slow. Use the winch to help me here. That's something I've seen with the trucks, is sometimes they just get caught on branches. Even with like the cab looking trucks, they'll get caught. They'll get caught on branches in the front, so that's something I've seen. There we go. And for this truck, it's just the mud is just too deep for it. I'm not saying the truck is incapable, but it's a lot of deep mud for this truck to handle. If the truck was on its own, it can get through all of this just fine, but it's pulling a load of vehicle spare parts. No, I can't make it through the trees. I was just considering they're just driving through the trees to go around this part. There we go. I was afraid if I turned too early around that bend there, it would just tip over. Kind of hoping the force will break it. Okay, great. Its own power. It's good, but we can do better, or at least I can do better. There we go. Oh yeah. Look at the little step go. Nice. I think this truck did a good job fighting through the mud. Some trucks in SnowRunner are better at fighting through mud. Some other trucks are better at fighting through snow. This is something I've noticed. Look at that. It's just digging into the ground. I wonder if this will actually work. Find out. Just get through this deep mud here real quick. Nah, it's not gonna work. Oh, look at that. Oh no. Hopefully I can save it. Oh right, I saved it. Which is great, because that's just enough, that's just enough leeway there to get it through this area. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's get out of this muddy area. Drop this load off. And focus on the other one. Of course, the other truck's going to be the Taiga, so I don't anticipate having problems with that one. So I've picked up some games on Steam that were for sale, but I've always thought about playing, but I've never really played. So one is called Tropico 6, where you're just El Presidente, or however they say it, and it's like the sim version of being on an island. And then you can create your industries and everything else around your palace and stuff like that. It's just basically like The Sims. The other one I picked up was Polygon Wars, so I'm really looking forward to playing those two games because I like playing the old sim games on like Windows 2000 and Windows XP. And of course, let's not forget Windows 95 Sim Ants. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely, anyone let me know. Hey, what can I pick up at the factory? Yeah, definitely let me know if, I don't really need metal beams. Definitely anybody let me know if you've picked up any good games in the Steam sale. I haven't shopped for Steam games in a very long time. Alright, let's take a look at our other truck here. Alright, I've got the concrete slabs, tank full of gas. And I'm going to go this way into the quarry here, so this will put me in like a weird spot where I got to get over to the other map here. But it's alright, this truck can handle it. It's got the wheels, it's got the power, and it's a Taiga. Oh yeah, I always want to top off every chance we get so we head to the gas station over here. I've actually learned that from doing Spark deliveries. I've noticed out in the countryside, at least from where I'm at, gas is like really cheap. So every time I'm doing a delivery all the way out there and I see a gas station and it's like, well, cheap relative to my area, so it's free. $2.91. I think it's like $2.91 or maybe less than that depending on the location. I'll always just top off my vehicle, so I've just learned to keep gas in my car at all times. And then I just applied that to the game. Even if it's just like a little bit, I'll still top it off. And since it's wide open highways where I'm doing my deliveries, I end up using the I don't know if it's called autopilot, where the vehicle just stays at a certain speed, but I'm just going to call it autopilot. I tend to use that a lot. And there's hardly anyone on the roads where I work, so there's no problems with slowing down there. Here we go. I'm going to slow it down here on this road because of this quarry here. I don't want to fall into it. That's one thing that driving on country roads has taught me to do, is it's taught me to slow down a lot, which I'm really grateful for, because I had a little T-shaped piece in my radiator that slightly cracked, so it was causing a radiator leak. It wasn't very obvious at first. It takes like 2 days for the engine to overheat, and then I finally noticed it, and that's why my car's in the shop this weekend. And that's why I have more time for the channel here. But anything to do with the radiator, getting that looked at, getting the transmission looked at, and getting all the goofy engine lights taken care of. I'm sorry, I meant engine lights. I don't know why I said that first part. I've been watching too much YouTube in my downtime. And then once the vehicle's completely fixed, it's just pedal to the metal for the rest of the year. I think this entrance right here puts you out near the beach, so I'm going to find out here. Once I'm going to speed it up here once I get to the quarry entrance. I think the Robust tire DLC that I purchased, I think they're actually working out really well. I really like them. I've almost considered putting off-road tires on my own personal vehicle for how much country road I'm driving. There's some places I deliver to, and the roads are so rough, people are just slightly astonished that I've made it all the way out to their location using a 2015 Chevy Malibu, and that's because I drive it very carefully down the country roads now. But the roads are high in one spot and low in one spot, just like here in SnowRunner. So a lot of the skills just translated over back and forth. Right. Oh yeah, okay, it's just as I figured. It put me... Yeah, okay, so it put me right here on the beach, which is going to be difficult to get through. And then we got to get up over here and then take these country roads all the way over here. We might have to get a field truck out here. I guess I'll find out. But I definitely want to go very slow, because in addition to being a beach, it's all just a beach of mud is what it really is. Even with the taiga, it can be very difficult. And I might need to do a rescue, so that could be a thing. This tree being here, but I'll just slowly go around. Maybe this tree was placed here during a later update, but I don't remember this tree in my first playthrough being in the way here. Of course, my first playthrough was a couple of years ago. Try to avoid as much water as possible in this area. There we go. All right. There's definitely some road back there that I'll probably explore later with the scout. I'm kind of curious as who's driving back down that way and for what. There could be a hidden quest back there that I'm just unaware of. Yeah, I'm not going that way. But hey, check that out. There's an asset from the first game right there. Okay, just go as slow as possible here because this road's kind of tilted. Go this way. You know, I wonder, probably hardly anyone ever used that entrance during their playthrough. That's like the most obscure entrance to this map. The Quarry map is that entrance right over there. Definitely comment below if you're playing through and you did use that entrance. That was my first time using it. You definitely want to be careful on these tilted roads. They can definitely cause a load to tip, which is very difficult to recover in this area. This area as soon as possible. See, this is what I'm talking about with these roads. See how it's tilted like this? Yeah, I definitely don't like driving through these roads. Challenging map design, though. I'll give it that. It's definitely challenging to drive through these kind of roads. Can't do it at full speed, that's for sure. Go through the mountains here. We could turn there. And come down this way. That will be the exit point. I think I have enough gas to do it. If not, I can get another gas vehicle out here to gas up the truck from the other map. See how it's tilted like this? It's something else. I've definitely tilted some trucks through here, so I'm going to be careful. All right. I've made it here. I'll probably swing by the trailer garage and fuel up, but I gotta drop this load off here, so we'll just make a turn right here. These are like old rail ties for an old railroad that went through this area. I've seen railroads like that where the ties are still there, but the tracks are gone. Have to go through this deep mud here. Great, made it through. Go and drop this off. Should be smooth sailing from here. All right, that ends this quest. I hope you guys like this playthrough here. Definitely leave a comment, like, and subscribe like I said in the beginning, and have a great day to everybody.